Hi friends, I'm playing with some more cards here and thought I would just share with you. This is a really fun technique using salt. And I'm using my Artisto pads. It's 140 pound cold press. Go ahead and use, whatever paper you have, but I would make sure it's 140 pound cold press. These are the Artisto pads. Meeden is also fantastic. They just have a lovely feel. And then today I'm using my Paul Rubens My Lane palette. This is student grade, but look at how gorgeous. I mean, just beautiful. Love these paints. And then I'm using my cat's tongue brush. My set did sell out, so you can use any brush that you like. You can use a round, the round brushes that you have. I love Princeton. Mine were a little bit inspired by the Princeton. I like the short handle. So use what you have. And then what I'm going to start with first is just laying down a wash. And I want it to be kind of darker. Maybe I'll even go in and mix up blue. Look at that pretty combination. I love the My Lane turkey blue with that green. I think it's so beautiful. So I'm going to kind of mix that up, just lay out a wash here. Nice and even, no puddles. There we go. And these are colors right next to each other on the color wheel. Therefore, they're quite calming and good for our eye to follow. There you go. And then I'm just going to kind of wash out the bottom here. There we go. You can even tilt your paper and get a little bit of flow there. And then I'm going to give this a quick little shot with my heat gun and get that to dry in a second. What I'm going to do first, and this is a trick with that water, with the salt, that you don't want to have puddles. You don't want to have too much pigment. You don't want to have too much water. Otherwise, the salt doesn't do anything. So you just want this beautiful shine. And now I'm just going to take a tiny bit here, and I'm going to create these little floral type designs, or what will end up being a floral, kind of like a field. So I'm doing them kind of in these curved long patterns, and I don't want too much, so that's why I'm really just barely sprinkling on that salt. Now I'm going to let that set. While it's setting though, I think what I will do is just use, let me find my little scraper. You could use a credit card. You could use whatever you want, but I'm going to scrape in maybe some little flowers in here. And actually, I think what I might do, well, let's do this first. So I'm just going to scrape in here just some interesting little grasses, just like that. So fun, right? And I'm actually kind of leaving the area in the middle a little bit lighter, not putting quite as many. And there you go. We've got this fun little field, but wait till you see what we do with that salt. It's a lot of fun. What I might do just in the meantime, while I'm waiting for that salt to dry, is I'm just picking up a tiny, tiny bit of yellow, and I'm just going to dot that in here and there just for some interest. Look how beautiful these colors are together. Aren't they fun? And there we go. I'm just going to let that do its thing. I'm going to give it a quick shot with my heat gun. These are about $20. I'll look for my link. I bought this a few years ago, and especially in the winter, it's really great because things tend to not dry so quick. So let me just give this a quick shot here. Going to keep letting that dry. And what I want to keep this real simple, but what I think I'll do, and this is perfect for your long round Princeton. This is the long round 6. It's got that beautiful, beautiful velvety touch. This is the Princeton. If you have my set, you can use that 8 round. I made it quite snappy so you can get a nice point here. And all I'm going to do is go in and just create a few lines with this. So I'm dipping into my green paint here, and use your favorite green. Mine tends to be a sap green, a tree green, something like that. And I'm just gonna barely go in. The other brush, by the way, you could actually use for this, which would be really fun. Let me see if I can find it. Would be your... a brush like this, like a fan brush, you could use here as well. I'm going to go ahead and stick with this, and I'm just going to rest my palm here, and very light pressure. I'm holding it up towards the ferrule, so I have a little bit more control, and I'm just very light pressure going to use the tip of my brush like that, and just paint in a couple little pieces that will catch the viewer's eye. If you have a smaller detail brush, please use that. You know, use whatever you're comfortable with. If you're using the Princeton 6 or 8 or mine, just use a very light pressure. And I'm just going to barely put in some of that detail. Just a tiny bit, a hint. And I love doing it that way. Let's see if this is dry. It's pretty dry. I don't want to take it off until it's completely dry. So let's, but you can see the little design that the salt is making here. Isn't that fun? So let's go ahead and let this dry a minute, and then we will come back and add in the rest of the details. Now that this has, for the most part, dried, what I'm going to do is, I don't really necessarily like using my finger, because if it is damp at all, you're going to smear it. So most times I use this old brush that I've had for decades, since college, and I will just gently make sure it's dry. Remove that salt. So as you can see, it's kind of flaking away here and exposing this beautiful little snowflake effects. If you used, by the way, like a rock salt or a flake salt, you would definitely have larger, a larger effect, larger little snowflakes that are created by the salt. This is pretty dry, so I'm going to go ahead. I let it sit here for a bit. And I'm just going to gently rub the rest of that salt off. So there we go. Let me hold it up so you can see this beautiful effect. And look at these colors. Aren't they just lovely? So you can see the little salt effects. Isn't that fun? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab my marker. Let me grab my Ohuhu marker here. You could grab any waterproof black marker you have. I really love the Ohuhu fine line markers. I've been using them for a little over a year. They're fade proof, they go on smooth, and they dry really quick. And I'm just going to start adding in some little branches and stems. Look at this one, how cute. Maybe a little leaf. I mean, this could not be easier, and such a fun effect with that salt. I love that it's so simple too, because The simpler, you know, to me, the simpler is always better. Just adding in a couple more little lines. So let me hold this up for you. And the simpler is always better for me because I like when my viewer looks at my painting and kind of lets their imagination, because I haven't filled in all the details for them. The last little fun piece I want to do with this is I'm going to grab a brush I have, and I'm just going to go into, you know, I love my bling, this mirror series, and I'm going to put some of that, oops, on my brush. I had some green paint on my brush, so. And I'm using a toothbrush versus a paintbrush because I really wanted to get some fine little sparkles. So now I'm just going to hold my brush and, ooh, I will hold this up so you can see. Oh my gosh, so pretty. I am making more of these, friends, because wait till you see this. So beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It's just magical and so simple. So there you go. I hope you have fun with this technique. So much fun. I will list all of my products down below for you that I use. And these are those MABs that you see me use constantly. I am obsessed with them, yes, because they are just so beautiful. And I hope you give this a try. Don't forget to check out my online beginners course. It's going to take you from you know, getting your supplies and your creative space set up to painting a beautiful little painting in the end. And I'm just so happy to be here with all of you. It makes me so happy to wake up each morning and see those familiar faces and see you having fun. That's what it's all about for me, is having fun, letting your imagination do its thing and play and just enjoying this fun medium. All right, everybody, I will see you soon, and happy painting.